and Hold Me Close. Massive star in England. I don't know where you're watching this from. You may have heard of him. He's sort of like one of those proper pop stars. Cheeky sort of chappy. I think he's from Essex. That's where he got his name from. But you know what I mean. And he did sort of blinding little pop songs in the early 70s, I think. Where are you watching from? Ottawa, Canada. Straight in there. Connecticut. 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 Cardiff. Greece. Vancouver. So I thought I'd do one of these. Well, actually, this is Gunner's fault because I think it was yesterday or the day before. He said, I heard a rumour you'll be doing a Bollocks Live on Sunday. He just made it up. So it became a rumour. It won't work again, Gunner. So don't try that one again. Maybe he believed it. Maybe he thought I'd said that. I don't think so. So let's go straight in there. Scarlett, Scarlett, the lovely rescue beagle, rescued from a laboratory. Scarlett says, I love the photos of you filming Afterlife 3 with Auntie, who plays dog Brandy. What was it like meeting up with her after so long? Do you have any favourite moments so far together in the series, on and off set? It was great. She ran over to me. Oh, she's so good. I play with her ears. I just play with her ears. They're so boingy, right? I hold them down and flick them, and they're there like that. It's like the speed of light. I hold them down. They do that. Yeah. I've got a technique now because she always smashes her massive paw into my testicles. I've discovered that if I'm filming, like we did a scene where we were watching sort of home videos together, and I just put the laptop over my gonads now. So when she sort of smash it, it just hits the laptop. I use the laptop like a little a little bollock shield. Oh, she's great. She's 10 now. So yeah, it's just so much fun. Gunnar and Andy. Here he is, the rumour starter. Dad chopped his thumb up yesterday and went to hospital. Oh dear. There was a kid there with Lego stuck up their nose. Yeah, good. What's the worst thing you would want to have stuck up your nose? Well, right, okay, this is what doing this has done to me. The first thing I thought of was cock in a drain. So, what does that tell you about this as a club? That if someone says, "What's the worst thing I want stuck up your nose?" I think of a cock in a drain. To anyone who's never watched this before, that is just way too hard to explain. What a cock in a drain. It says what it does on the tin, really. Fucking hell, I've missed this. There was a kid at my school in juniors, so about, I don't know, 6 or 7. I won't say his name because I want to tell you he wasn't the sharpest tool in the box, right? But he had we had a nature table with, like, you know, and there was some dried peas, and he stuck one of them up his nose, and he had it up there for a week until he had to go to the doctor and have it removed. I tell you what, I've had up my nose twice a week for the last 5 weeks. A swab, because we get tested every 2 days, and it's definitely affected my sinuses. So that at the moment, but I'm as a cock in a drain. Although more embarrassing would be softer on my mucous membrane than a fucking swab up there. So yeah, unless I've caught a cold. I don't know how I've caught a cold. I mean, you can't catch anything. I've never washed my hands so much. They put a mask on you when you finish filming. Everyone's tested. So I think it's people shoving things up my nose twice a week. Or it could be the bubble bath. Louise, my question is an extension of something you talked about on Absolutely Mental. It's my podcast with Sam Harris, in case you haven't heard about it. It's number 1. So, you said you wouldn't want to know your death date now, given the choice. But what if choosing not to know meant your life was significantly reduced? Oh, would you change that answer? So, I can either know the date and live 5 years longer, say, or not know the date and have it reduced by 5 years. Oh, that's such a tough one, because if I choose not to know, I'll know I would have had 5 years longer. And if I choose to know, I'll know when I would die, and that would give me no comfort that I would have died 5 years earlier. So it's an impossible question. Oh, fucking hell. That's a really... I mean, I don't mean it's a tough question. I mean, it's impossible, because they're both bad, aren't they? 5 years longer seems like a good idea, but I'd know I was going to die. So if it said, like, oh, let's say you're going to die on this day at 90, that's no consolation of going, well, it would have been 5 years earlier. Well, I wouldn't have known that. And yet, if I choose not to know it, I know I've taken 5 years off my life. Oh, I've never been posed an impossible question before. I feel like I don't want to know it. Oh, I'll ask Sam Harris that. Thank you, Louise. That's a cracker, that. Mal, which character would you like to play besides yourself in Series 3, and why? So if I had to choose someone else in Series 3, well, funnily enough, Ken Otley, I was going to play Ken Otley before I did Afterlife. It was going to be a different series. I was going to play a Ken Otley character that was going to be a fake documentary about a sort of failing agent on the outskirts of entertainment. And it was Ken Otley. And so when I did Afterlife, I remembered the Ken Otley. I thought, well, I can't play 2 characters. So I gave it to Colin Holt, who's amazing. So it would probably be that. Even though he's better than me, I suppose that one. Joey, here he is. There we go. Okay, what's Joey got for me? Hey, Ricky Gervais, you're going to awaken with a non-human brain. Teddy and I, that's his dog brother, Joey's a cat, in case you don't know, would like to know, if your only options were my brain or his brain, whose would you choose to have? Again, it's a very different question, because if I had Teddy's brain, I'd be a smart dog, wouldn't I? I'd be a smart dog. But I'd still have the burdens of consciousness, because dogs have got a lovely little soul and everything. And I'd worry about stuff, wouldn't I? Whereas if I had Joey's brain, which, as we know, is the size of half a walnut, I wouldn't worry about anything. I'd just have instincts. I'd just go hot, cold, food, sleep. Hot, cold, food, sleep, brush, fight, mouse. You know what I mean? So I'd have to choose the dimmer of the two, so as not to know the fact that I once used to be human, and now I'm a thing with a tiny brain. So I think I'd choose your tiny brain, Joey. Because ignorance is bliss. Chris, morning, Ricky. Random question for Sunday. But would you ever consider doing another series of Derek? I loves it. What would win out of Derek and Afterlife? I'm not planning to because I don't think you should. But never say never, and I think it'd be great. I'd love it. I'd love every minute of it. But I don't know. It's difficult. You shouldn't really. You shouldn't really return. You know, maybe a spin-off or something. But also, Derek. Well, if I got around to doing it, Derek would be old enough to be a resident in the old people's home, which would be fine. Also, it's tough on my back and neck playing Derek. What would win out of Derek? Well, I've got such affection for Derek, and it's just, I don't know. It was so fun. Afterlife is harder and more ambitious. Probably the most ambitious thing I've done. But I've got so much affection for Derek, the character. Derek's my favourite character, probably. So never say never, but probably not. Although I do think about it, and wish it would just happen without all the hard work and angst. We're whizzing through these. There's so many. I'm sorry if I don't get to you. There's just so many. Leopold and Loveday. In episode 11 of Absolutely Mental, during the coal shoot story, you comment on how different you and Sam Harris are. Are there any scientific basis for opposites attract? Well, I think they're not in this case. I know that's I think why me and Sam Harris are good because we're different is because there has to be some sort of opposite. If we're the same person, it might as well just be one of us. So we have to be different. We have to have different views on things and different levels of interest and all those things because that's better for the audience. There's no point in two people just totally agreeing on everything. I mean, we agree on some things. We agree on points of logic. And even then, we don't totally agree on that. We got to a very pinpointed thing that I think Sam's not convinced that he's not convinced that death is nothingness, which I mean blew my mind. So we don't even on those things. We don't agree totally on. So that's good, but I think in terms of actual attraction, I think we talked about this before that they did an experiment with women smelling different pheromones from different men and what they found most attractive in smell. And those were the men that had things that they were missing in their own pheromones that would be better for the child. So in that sense, those two people procreating would be better for the child because they each had things the other one was missing. So I think there is a scientific basis for opposites attract. Yeah. So yeah, the coal. He didn't even know what a coal bunker was, did he? He thought it sounded like someone from a Victorian England. My childhood. He's right. Tiana, since you may be doing another Twitter live, well, here it is. Can I ask for a congrats from you? I finally graduated college with a Bachelor of Arts. Well done. In geology and geophysics. Never thought I'd see the day. Only took me 8 years. Wow, well done. Congratulations. So geology and geophysics. So you could. What's that? What's the career thing there? I knew someone who did that, and they looked for oil for people. Or it could just be academic, I guess. Or you could just do it and then go and join a circus. Who knows? I don't think many people think that I use my degree Although I do now. With doing the podcast with Sam Harris, I do actually use my degree a lot more than I have done for 35 years. So all education, all learning, it all goes in. Even if it doesn't think that it's like a media, it, it's one of the things that we listed in the great things about being alive. One was learning, just learning stuff, exploring. So anyway, congratulations. Titch, here he is. Oinker, that's his little pink pig. This might be madness, won't it? Because I might have picked up symptoms from you lot, so I'm as mad as you now. The fact that I know what fucking Oinker is worrying, isn't it? Titch. Oinker did a bungee jump this morning. He loved it. Would you ever do a bungee jump or any death-defying stunt for that matter? No. I don't even like crossing the road. Of course I wouldn't. The only thing I do that's like risk to my health is food and drink. And never going to the doctor. That's the other one. But no. Apparently, if you don't do a bungee jump by the time you're 30, you've got 95% of never doing it because you sort of lose your bottle a bit. And I don't think I've lost my bottle. I always thought that was a stupid thing to fucking do. I mean, I imagine it's fun, but the risk of doing that. Some bloke tying your legs to something. He might be having a bad day, mightn't he? He might be on the phone having an argument. He's going, yeah, I'll fucking see you later. Anyway, go. And he hasn't tied it right. And you're fucking dead. So, no. It's the risk just doesn't equate with the joy. So I don't think so. I don't think I'd jump out of a plane. I'd do it if the parachute was already open. I don't want to... I mean, I get on planes and stuff, but I sort of play the stats a little bit. But no. I wouldn't bungee jump. I think my fucking legs would come off with my hips. Do you know what I mean? I'm so brittle now. I just like fucking... His legs come off. Just my legs like that. Just like that, wouldn't they? Just dangling there and me on the fucking floor with no legs. No. Ollie Comic, as a creator, not the creator, as a creator, why do you think our species has a need to be creative and create works of art? Is creativity derived from playfulness, or does it serve a purpose beyond itself? Why do you feel a need to be creative? I don't know. I like it. I like creating something. I don't know. I like exploring. I like seeing what I can do. I like doing things that I'm interested in. I think that's probably where it starts. Formally, like you like David Bowie, so you want to be a pop star, or you like David Beckham, so you want to be a footballer. Well, that's not creativity, is it? That's it as a job. I think we're all creative. I think we're born with it. I think if anything, it's sort of beaten out of us, because I think playing is being creative. I think you have to play, and kids are creative. They come up with stuff, imaginary friends, building things. My mum told me once, right, when I used to sort of play Cowboys and Indians by myself, loser, also Native American, racist, 5-year-old Ricky, right? I used to play Cowboys and Native Americans down the bottom of the garden. And sometimes I'd work myself up into a frenzy so much that I'd run in, I'd scare myself, and I'd hide from these imaginary... So, yeah, creativity can tip over to being a bit mental at 5 and 6. So I think we always want to try stuff. I think it's part of intelligence, trying stuff out, seeing stuff, and then you do it more formally when you're aware of it. But I think you're right. I think it's playing, and I think a lot of it is seeing someone else's reaction, particularly with comedy. Like I would say daft things to see what someone else would say back. And I didn't mind their reaction. I didn't mind whether they laughed or got angry or got confused. I'm still a bit like that. So I think I do it. It would make me laugh. If I say a joke and someone doesn't get it, that makes me laugh. I just want to see what happens. I just want to see what happens. Yeah. Jackie and Harry. Hi, Mr. G. A question for tonight's Ricky's Bollocks. I have been known to grind my teeth and twitch my paws and whiskers when I'm dreaming. Do you and Mr. H think it's my brain teaching me how to successfully catch a squirrel, or just wishful thinking that I will catch one? Well, we talk about this on one of the Sam Harris things about what dreams are, because I think we concluded, and being informed by Sam with the sort of modern science behind it, is that they're just upshots. They're not really. They don't have meaning. We're storing the stuff, and they're sort of like epiphenomenon that they're smoke from a fire. You know, they're the upshot of us, and because we've got no logic, we're not awake and we're conscious, think that anything can happen. We can be flying and people can be turning into stuff. I don't think it's necessarily means anything. They're certainly not prophetic. So maybe it's just that you've caught a squirrel that day and your brain's remembering it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that dreams are the same in cats and dogs. Maybe they are. I don't know. I don't want to dish you. Pockets. Would you ever have a séance to reach someone in the other world, or who would you want to talk to? Forever grateful for your kindness to help us animals. Love, Pockets, Warhol. Pockets is the painting monkey. I wouldn't, Pockets, because I don't believe that it works. I don't believe in the supernatural and that. Yeah. I mean, lots of people I'd like to talk to if it was possible. But I don't think it is. But it's a lovely thought, isn't it? Talking to a relative that you miss or something. But I don't buy it. So yeah, sorry about that. Tony, it seems me and my wife are having a bit of a midlife crisis at the moment, as she now has a horse and I recently got a motorbike. Have you or Jane ever rode a horse or a motorbike? Have a great day. I think we both have done both. I rode a horse when I was little. I haven't done it properly as an adult. I would though. I'd love to have a little horse to just around Hampstead. I'd be scared of those big ones in case I'd probably have a little donkey now, little pony, my little pony. I've ridden a motorbike once, never again. I'll tell you why. So I'm about 18, and I used to go to the pubs with mates in the centre of Reading, which is about 3 miles from where I lived. And I knew a bloke who was a regular there who had a motorbike. And one day he said, I'll give you a lift home. And it was a big thing. He was sort of like a biker, nice bloke, biker. I was a skinny little 18-year-old. He said, I'll give you a lift home. I went, oh, all right. He persuaded me. I probably had a couple of pints, so I was a bit braver. And he had a big bike. I don't know what it was, but it was one of those sort of like a 750 Triumph or something, right? So I got on the back, and he was a big bloke, and I would hold on to him like that, right? So I was like that, just terrified, right? And he went away, right? Off he went. And when he went like that, I went the other way. And he went, fucking don't lean the fucking wrong way. Because I thought I was trying to counterbalance it. Like, I was doing that. So he went like that, and I went the other way. And he didn't invite me to lift home again. But I was horrible. I was terrified. I thought I'd fall off the back. Oh no. I told you, no bungee jumping, no bungee. Oh, that wasn't the first time. My mate, when we were about 16 or 17, he got a fizzy. Is it a lot of 50cc? Is it? And we were on the all-weather pitch after school, and it was his pride and joy. And I said, "Can I have a go?" He went, "Yeah." He said, "That's the accelerator." And I went like that, and it just wheeled. I fell off, and it scraped across this brand new bike. Fuck yeah! Now I'm no Evil Knievel, am I? Bella, we've whizzed through this, haven't we? Right, a couple more. You awaken to discover your limbs have been replaced by sticks. Of course. Do you A, attempt to live your life as normal without being able to bend your elbows or knees? I asked Sam Harris a question there. B, get Jane to whittle them into something decorative. Well, what's the point of that? C, offer yourself up for a dog to enjoy chewing them off, but you will not grow them back. Again, no great. There's no choice there. I have got arms for sticks for arms. There's no choice there, Bella. So I might as well let the dog chew them. At least I've given someone else some. Then I've just got little stumps. Fucking hell. Can't I at least have... Well, how good is Jane at whittling? Could she give me false, like, wooden arms? So I'll just walk along the street and with gloves on, and it just look like, oh, he's got big, strong, tough, stiff arms. If Jane's good at whittling, I'll go for that one. Oh, what a terrible question, Bella. I thought of you today, actually, Bella. I found a stick, and I was thinking that's been nice for it. And then a dog came along, just ran up to me and just took it. And the owners went, "Oh, do you want it back?" And I just laughed. I went, "No." Dougal, little French bulldog do. Bonjour, Monsieur Ricky. You awaken to find yourself in your bucket. What is worse? A, the cold. B, the complex aroma of feces and urine. Or C, the osmotic pruning effect on your bollocks. I love the fact that a bulldog knows the word osmotic. So the well, they already look like my bollocks already look like prunes, so that's not a problem. In fact, that'd be good because if someone came in, I don't know, who's coming in, look at me in a bucket. Right, the cold. What? What? Oh, I can't have. Well, it'd be warm for a while, wouldn't it? If it's my own urine and feces, the complex aroma of feces and urine. Well, yeah, probably that one. I could sit by the fire, couldn't I? I could warm it up, and I'd be warm with wrinkled bollocks, but I'd stink. Imagine someone who's tuned in for the first time. Imagine someone who's listened to the Sam Harris podcast and gone, this one's for free. I'll see what he's like live by himself. Fucking hell. Last question. Susie Hope, love all the pictures you share of afterlife filming. Question. Have you chosen the music pieces for Afterlife 3? And if so, what's the process? Your music choices are also beautiful. I hope you enjoyed your bubble bath. Yeah. I have, and I've got too many. I put in like either or, just in case one doesn't get cleared. Also, you don't know till you've done it. So I shoot for the idea of what song I'm going to use, but that could be changed to a similar song or a completely different song because it's not literal. It's not like I sort of go with the lyrics. I sort of go with the mood and the sentiment. So I've probably cleared 20 songs, and I might use 10 of them, or I might use 10 of them and a completely different 10. So things change, but yes, I've planned them, and I shoot to those ideas for montages or whatever, or, you know, in fact, sometimes it works the other way around. Sometimes I think of a song that's amazing, and that gives me an idea for a scene even. So it's quite a symbiotic relationship, the filming and the music choices early on, and then as you go on, you know, obviously the story comes first. So it depends, but I always try and and it's great because the budget's good. You know, usually it's like picking a fantasy football team where you can either have one great striker and use up all your money, and then have library music, so to speak. But this, I can have sort of, they can all be sort of pretty big tunes. Some are still out of my league. Like if I was to do a Fleetwood Mac song, a Neil Young song, and a Beatles song, that would be the budget. Uh, so, but I can afford pretty big names in every episode, as you know. Well, there you go. 30 minutes of absolute bollocks. An impromptu one caused by Gunner's malicious rumour. Thanks for following. Thanks for retweeting stuff. Thanks for doing all the animal charities that are still ongoing. Always great. We're getting somewhere with animal testing. There's been a recent push. We're trying to kill the propaganda of that nonsense, and the same with trophy hunting. Thanks for buying the Sam Harris and Little Dickie Jarvis podcast. Absolutely mental. Hey Siri, buy absolutelymental.com. Alexa, absolutelymental.com. Hours and hours of fun for less than a couple of dollars per episode. Thank you very much. Be nice to animals and have a great week. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.